Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on our webinar. We've got Zach on the line as well up in our Boise, Idaho office.
How's everybody doing? I'm excited to do this with you, Katerli. I think we have some exciting news that we're going to be sharing and delving into. Let's get this thing going.
Yes, I'll jump right in. So we have a pretty big announcement to share with everyone. We are launching a brand new product here at C Squared. It's called C Squared Search. You can see our logo up there. Our second logo is the C Squared Search one, and we're rolling that out here this next month. We've been focused really heavily on the social aspect of marketing for the last 8 years, and we're really just completing the puzzle with search advertising as well. So today we're going to tell you a little bit more about search, how it works, how it can work in conjunction with your social campaigns, and just really tell you all about it. So I'll have Zach jump into it, but I thought first I would just share really a personal example of just how well search and social work together. So on this next slide, you'll see kind of the progression of really consumer behavior. So I was telling Zach that I'm actually remodeling my kitchen right now and doing a lot of research on who the best company remodeler is to use in town. And I kind of look to this slide as exactly what happened for me. I'm looking for someone to remodel my kitchen. Where do I start? Start with a Google search. I type in remodelers in Carlsbad, California. And now I have a variety of different websites to look at. I can start kind of price shopping around and finding different information. So now I'm on a website, and funny thing is that same day I start getting targeted with ads from that website, all on Instagram stories, Facebook, even on a mobile app, right? If I'm like playing a game on my phone, it pops up there too. So it just goes to show you this is kind of that full circle marketing plan where we've got search advertising, Google and YouTube working in conjunction with social as well. I know on YouTube, I pop around, look at inspiration for remodeling or DIY projects. I'm going to see a long video there. It catches my eye, and then I might see it later again on a website or through Facebook. So it just goes to show you whatever the product, service, what you're looking for, it can find you. And for me, it started with that Google search and now continues to find me really wherever I'm spending my time online. So I'll pass it over to Zach. He's going to tell you kind of the behind the scenes of how that exactly works.
Absolutely, yeah. So just like your exact sample is, the fact with Google marketing is we know people are going to start on Google, right? If you want to, I guess there's some people that could start on Bing, but we're not going to go there. Google sorry, that was me doing a little poking. Google is usually people's first place to search for a service, ask a question, try and find information on maybe a new business or really anything that they want to buy. And how we find those customers and bring them to you is through what we call perfect match targeting. We do that just as it says with a combination of bot learning, which we'll get into a little bit later in this presentation, pixel data, which a lot of people are familiar with that term, but it's essentially a set of code on websites that kind of keep track of who visited your website so you can do it to remarket them. With Google, what we would do is if they visited your website from one of our Google ads, what will happen is we're going to follow them around on their social media, their YouTube. So exactly what Katerli was experiencing, and that was all done through pixel remarketing. Well, we do that exact same thing. But one of the biggest components of Google search marketing is the keyword targeting. Now, that is not a plural word. However, keyword targeting can mean just one simple word, in this case, remodeling. All the way to full sentences. And that's kind of what we have to do. We have to put ourselves into the customer's feet and almost think of ways of how they're going to search for you. So Katerli, I'm sure you did some sort of search, kitchen remodeling places near me, kitchen remodeling companies, and that's exactly what we do. We find the perfect targeting through those sentences that someone would search. For example, we do a lot of work here on C Squared Social for a lot of franchise companies. So what we would do is probably something along the lines of, you know, franchises under X amount of dollars. And that's how we would find the people who not only have some sort of financial capabilities, because they're searching for that exact dollar amount there, as well as people interested in franchising. And that's really how we're going to tailor the perfect audience, like it says here, the highest quality audience to you and bring them to you. As Katerli mentioned, kind of all those platforms, you know, if you're familiar with C Squared Social, your ads are presented on Facebook, Instagram, the Audience Network. We have packages as well that bring in LinkedIn into the mix. But search marketing, we're going to the other side of things. And that's where we're going to be on Google Search, Google Display, YouTube, and Amazon. Now, Google Display is probably one that most people don't recognize as much. That's actually very similar to Facebook's Audience Network. It's actually the Google Display Partner Network. And that is where they rent ad space, lease ad space on hundreds of thousands of websites. I actually don't know the true number because it changes daily. But those websites, they want Google to advertise on them. It's part of their own revenue source. So Google leases out that space for your ads. So not only will we find them on Google search, so when they search for you, on YouTube when they're watching videos, Amazon when they're searching for items. Amazon is actually technically a part of the Google Display Partner Network. However, Amazon tends to be one of the higher used ones. But we're going to follow them around the web, just like we did when Katerli was looking for kitchen remodeling. That's exactly how we do it, through those different platforms there.
That's right. And I think a lot of people, when they think of Google advertising, they don't realize that you have the opportunity to really get in front of people with beautiful creative like this. So whether it be, you know, you've got a text on the left-hand side, which is all about just the keywords that Zach was mentioning, and maybe it's just a phrase, a real quick call to action that you're trying to put together. You could go that route, or you can use that display network, like that center ad where you've got ads that are fully optimized for mobile, and you know, really display your opportunity, your product, whatever it might be. It'll be fully branded, and on YouTube, you've got an opportunity to have motion graphics, videos, and really find creative that is just really engaging and perfect for your audience. So that's all built out here in-house. We have a team of graphic designers that are just really talented in putting all this together. They do focus on mobile first, so everything is really geared towards you know, getting people in that moment and making sure that your ad is the most engaging of them all, particularly on their phone.
As mentioned prior, that bot technology, again, I'm going to get into that in just a second. But with C Squared Search on most of our packages, if you come on board, we're actually going to build you your own landing page. So it's fully optimized for Google search. It's going to have a great quality score, which the quality score is what kind of determines your ad placement, how effective your bidding is to keep costs low. It all comes down to that relevancy and quality score. And what's fantastic is, so half of that quality score is from your keyword targeting, the relevance of your ads. The other half, and it's not an exact 50-50 split, but the other half is based on your website and landing page. Well, that's really hard sometimes because most people's websites have multiple different avenues, but we want to keep things relevant to what you're doing with us. And so in that case, what we do is we take that whole burden of making sure your website's optimized, making sure your all the copy and all the imagery on your landing pages are relevant. We take that burden on for you. We build it in-house. We have our own design team that builds your landing page, programs it, make sure all those pixels are installed correctly, and so that analytics will be given to you in a proper amount of time. But we also put in there, again, that chatbot technology. And what that does is, let's say your main campaign is you want leads. Well, not everybody feels comfortable going online to a website that they may not be familiar with, typing in their information and hitting submit. What that chatbot does is it turns it into a conversation. Now, the chatbot is not manned by a call center or Your account manager is not going to be the one answering those questions. It's all programmed prior. It's what I like to call like a choose your own adventure story. You're prompted with things that you have to answer. So it'll ask for their name, and then it will ask, are you interested in pricing? Do you have questions? X, Y, and Z. It can be a couple of things. And so they'll have to answer their exact thing. And what will happen is you'll receive an email, or as Katerli will go into in just a moment, Notify app. It'll all be implemented in there for you. And you can actually see the conversation they had with that bot. And so you can pick up right where they left with that bot. So it does feel like a fluid conversation. But ultimately, it's just another route to get them to fill out a lead form.
Mm-hmm.
As mentioned, with having that optimized landing page, we can ensure that the pixels and the tags are truly tracking your audience properly. And with that comes analytics. If you've been with C-Squared prior, you're probably familiar with this dashboard that we have up on your screen right now. If not, welcome. I'm glad you're seeing it for the first time. C-Squared is a very transparent company. We want you to know what's going on with your campaign. But with the reporting, it gives you a link that you can access anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection, and you can see what's going on with your campaign, whether it's midnight, whether it's Sunday evening, whenever. Not only can you use it to see what's going on with your campaign, but it can actually give you ideas and things to ask your account manager for on your biweekly call about, hey, why are my impressions low? What does click-through rate mean? What is the cost per lead, and why is it this much? It just gives you ideas of things that you can talk about, gives you an insight onto what's going on at the time it's going on. It is real time, minus there's like a 30-second delay or so. But nonetheless, it's about as live as you're going to get. We want you to have this information.
And then in addition, of course, we know that getting in contact with these leads as quickly as possible is so important. So we want to help you in doing that by giving you access to the Notify app, which if you're using C-Squared Social, you know how cool this communications tool is. If you can just get in front of somebody so quickly with a text message, which we know text open rates are at 98%. So that means, you've got a great chance at converting this person if you can get in touch with them quickly. Notify lets you do that. You can set up some great automations through this program, whether it be text or email. You can call within the app as well, just making it really simple to get in contact with leads as quickly as possible. And then, of course, I love this slide, the team.
Of course you do. You're in it.
Zach's going to make the next team photo shoot, I promise.
It'll be just me.
Yeah. But you've got a team of experts here helping you out. So with each campaign, you'll get a designated account manager. So whether that be on the social side or search, you'll have two different account managers that specialize in those areas. They'll work together and really make sure that the strategy they're using for search is really married to the strategy that they're using for social. In addition to that, you get a strategist who specifically will come in and make suggestions. You get a graphic designer, and really just the entire team. So, the more you have here at C-Squared, the larger that team and support gets. And we love to walk through bi-weekly calls where Zach had mentioned you have access to that dashboard. We'll pull that up with you, walk you through some key metrics, and really give you insight as to how the campaigns are performing, where we'd like to see that go, and continuing to really give you recommendations on where we want really your campaign to be in 4 months, in 6 months, in a year, and helping really reach the goals with you. This is my last and final slide, so I'll kind of jump into the more of the Q&A section of our webinar. We do have, with this launch coming up, we've got quite a few people coming with questions about search specifically. So I thought maybe I would jump into some of those questions. And Zach, if you're okay, if you can fire away with some answers. I'm
scared, but let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So one of the questions I get a lot is really, what are the benefits of having search and social combined as a strategy?
Absolutely. It really relates back to what we were talking about prior, with your personal interaction on the web. It's the same thing. We know people are going to start searches, start looking for their service or product or things that they need on Google, I would say most of the time. And so from there, they may not interact right away with your ad. And so at least we brought that lead to your website. Well, from that website, we take advantage of that pixel that we have installed there, and we follow them through the web. And most of the time, those people are going to go to Facebook. They're going to go to Instagram, just like you mentioned, Katerli. And so with having search, we can take a search lead, follow them through the web, and they may interact come Facebook. I would bet if you ask a lot of your leads that you get going forward, or even that you currently have, I would ask them, hey, which ad did you see first, and which one did you finally click on? And we have ways to show you that the path of those people, but really they come together seamlessly. If for some reason they did start on Facebook, we can lead them back to your landing page, which we have the Google Analytics tag on there. And so we can give you Google Analytics from a Facebook ad. They're meant to be together, and they never, well, because they're two different companies at least, that's why they're not together. But really, they're almost the perfect integration together. They pick up where the other one leaves off. It's just a full cycle like we showed earlier. Absolutely.
Yep. Another question I get is really what's the difference between SEO versus PPC?
Ooh, you said my least favorite word, I guess acronym. So SEO and PPC are similar in some regards, but they're also different avenues. PPC is what we do here at C Squared. PPC stands for pay-per-click. SEO stands for search engine optimization. That's a fancy acronym for essentially saying someone who types copy really well. As I mentioned earlier, quality and relevance are the number one things your ads to do well on Google and in Google's algorithm and their AI when they're looking through the ads. That's the most important thing, and SEO can do that. However, that is such a long-term thing through various blog posts, through changing your text on your website or landing page. It's a continual thing that you have to edit all the time, where PPC is almost like a shortcut to the front. SEO is all about getting you as the number one spot on Google organically, which is great. It shouldn't be ignored. You should have a great website for your consumers. But PPC is taking what you already have, tailoring the ads to what you have, and making it be the most relevant thing out there and making you the number one spot on Google. And that's why we find the benefit of it. Now, that's also why we took on the burden of those landing pages. We wanted to ensure that you had a great website for your ads and that the ad and the landing page are truly relevant. Your strategy and account management team that you mentioned earlier, Katerli, they're in charge of ensuring that the copy on your landing page and the copy of your ads really are cohesive. And so your quality score will be great. Like I said, SEO does take time. So your landing page that we build you may eventually show up in the organic searches, but with what we do at search marketing, it really is a shortcut to number one, and that's what we really want to focus on. Yeah, it's a great question. They're both very important.
I love it. And what about the quality factors? So a lot of people ask me if the same, well, I guess you should say the quality that you see on social, is there a comparison between social and search, or do you find that there's a difference between the two?
There is a difference. I mean, a quality lead is going to be the exact same definition of someone from social and from search. It just, what we found in our experience, it's less leads to have a quality candidate that goes through your full cycle will happen on search. And that's really because we're putting your ad in front of them in the exact moment they're searching for what you offer. On Facebook, people are scrolling through and they'll see your ad because there is targeted behaviors and demographics behind those ads. And yes, it will be most of the time relevant to them and they can act upon it, but they may not have been thinking about you at that exact moment. When someone's searching for kitchen remodeling and they see kitchen remodeling ads, most likely they're going to be doing something in the kitchen remodeling network. Whether they are someone who's going to go through and use you as a contractor or for your supplies that you offer, doesn't matter. You'll probably have a good conversation with them, even if it's just through a short text message. We tend to find contact rate is higher. We find that quality leads, or that the leads are of higher quality. The only downfall is you will see less leads through Google search. You'll see more on social. However, it's less weeding through those leads to find the higher quality ones. We bring those higher ones right off the bat in most cases.
Yeah. Well, great. That's all the questions I have for you right now here on the spot. But of course, if you guys have any other questions or you want to get into it and learn more about whether or not search would be right for your company, your brand, your product, whatever the case might be, feel free to reach out to our team, specifically Zach. He can really put you on the path to success there and help you understand what's going to be best for your campaign and your strategy. We'll leave his email and his phone number below so you can reach out to him quickly and shoot him a message. And we look forward to working with you all and having a great rollout here. We've got Search September coming up, whole month that is just geared towards search, the rollout of it, and completely themed. So it should be a great couple of weeks ahead.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely like Katerli said, check us out on our Instagram and Facebook. We'll be doing some fun giveaways, a lot more information as well on how search is relevant in today's digital marketing needs, as well as like she said, my email is down below, my phone number is down below. Email me any question you have. No question is a dumb question. If I don't answer my phone, feel free to text me. Feel free to leave me a voicemail. I will get back to you. I want to talk to you. I would love to even if it's just an educational question, I would love to help you out. In worst case, I'm going to get you connected with someone on my team, and they'll even go further than I will. We're here to help you, and we want to see you all succeed. So I speak on behalf of both Katerli and I. We're glad you joined us for this webinar, and we're excited to talk to you. So please come see us.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, and thanks, Zach. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thanks. You guys too. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.